Okay, game designers. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to set this up so that he's our new enemy and he comes at us, right? We don't want this other enemy that, we're getting all these errors thrown. So this enemy we're going to get rid of and we're going to replace it with this new guy, this new orc enemy that we've got here. All right, so we need to add some components to him. We need the enemy controller, right, to be added to him, and we need the enemy seeker control attached to him, and this is the target, right? It's supposed to be our player, so let's pull our player into that spot there. There we go. So now we've got the enemy seeker and the enemy controller on here, and that's what we want. Now he should come at us. Let's hit play and see if it's working. Oh, yeah, here he comes. Oh, he got hit by the projectile. I accidentally shot a little projectile, or like, oh, you know what it is? This little projectile's on the screen. Let me get rid of that. So there's only going to be a projectile if I want there to be a projectile. Let me look at my enemy spawner. Okay, so I've got 16 going here, and I've got in my enemy spawner, I've got 15 here. Okay, so that's all good. Let me go back to my game here and see what we've got. And I'm running away, and he's coming after me. Okay, that's what we want. And I shoot, and he gets killed by the shot. Okay, so that's all good. We'll have to figure out what's going on here. It's the spawner is throwing us. I think we just need to get this game object now out of the game. Let's get that guy out of here. Let's clear these. And now that we have our new enemy working, oh no, it's still throwing errors. Okay, so we'll figure that out. I'm not worried about it because it's certainly not keeping us from being able to play the game right now. Let me just see what we've got in our enemy. Okay, we got that spawner. All right, I'm not quite sure why it's throwing that error, but it's not hindering us from being able to play the game right now. So let's keep rolling. All right. So now we want to find a way to limit the bullet, and actually, for the purposes of that, I'm just going to actually disable the monster orc, so we can just focus on the projectile for this lesson. Now that we've got the enemy kind of coming at us, let's fix our projectile. Now the idea is to have the projectile disappear after a certain amount of time, so it's not just endlessly flying into the distance, because right now it just stays there in the game, and if an enemy happens to step on it, it's like a landmine. It kills him immediately. So we want to fix that. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to go into our project here and into our assets, and I'm going to go into scripts, and I'm going to create a new script, new C# script called Projectile Range. Okay, let's capitalize that too, just to keep this consistent. Okay, so I got projectile range, and this is all empty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in a block of code from a previous project. When our 2D game, remember the enemy jumper? This was our attack function. And anything that deals with waiting for a period of time is an IEnumerator function. You always see that IEnumerator and then a yield return, new, wait for seconds. Well, we don't need a random time period for our bullet to last. That would be strange. Some bullets go farther than others. And we don't need a force Y. We don't need to add force. We don't need any of this stuff. All we really need is our time limit here. And I'm going to put the start coroutine attack up in the beginning of the script. And I am going to, after 1.5 seconds, actually that might be too long. Let's just do 1 second for now. And we're going to call destroy game object. Okay, and a semicolon here, and save. So it's going to, every time we attack, it's just going to wait for a second, and then it's going to destroy the game object that this script is attached to, which would be what object? Our projectile. Okay, so let's save that. Control S to save. And let's go back into Unity and let the little spinning pinwheel update. And now I'm going to go into my asset prefabs, and all I have is my projectile here. Let's go down and add components, and we're going to add the projectile range script. Okay, and there we go. We've attached that now to the projectile in the inspector, and that will should automatically update this prefab. And now let's try it out. We're going to hit play and start shooting, and there it goes. It disappears after 1 second. And if you want an even closer range or less of a range on your projectile, you can change it to a lower number. You could do half a second if you want. You know, I could change this to 0.5 F, and that will make it even a shorter range weapon. We could also limit how many shots you could fire, but for right now, let's just limit it to the range of the bullets. Okay, good job.